The Nigerian Senate had received a request from President Muhammadu Buhari to approve adjustments to the 2022 fiscal framework. The request was contained in a letter read during plenary by President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan. President Buhari in the letter explained that an adjustment to the 2022 fiscal framework became imperative in view of the new developments in both the global and domestic economies. According to him, the developments were occasioned by spikes in the market price of crude oil, which were a fallout of the Russian-Ukraine war. He therefore requested the upper chamber to approve an increase in the oil benchmark by $11 per barrel from $62 per barrel to $73 per barrel. He also approved an increase in the estimated provision for premium multi-spirit subsidy for 2022 by 3.557 trillion naira from 442.72 billion naira to 4 trillion naira.
The decision to suspend the removal of petroleum motor spirit PMS subsidy at a time when high crude oil prices have elevated the subsidy cost provisions for the recent enhancement have elevated the subsidy cost has significantly eroded government revenues. I'll take that again. The decision to suspend the removal of petroleum motor spirit PMS subsidy at a time when high crude oil prices have elevated the subsidy cost has significantly eroded government revenues. There is also the need to make adequate provisions for the recent enhancements of allowances for officers and men of the Nigeria Police Force to boost their morale as they grapple with heightened security challenges in the country. Following these developments, it has become necessary to adjust the fiscal framework and accordingly amend the 2022 Appropriation Act to ensure its successful implementation. The adjustments to the 2022 fiscal framework include A, an increase in the oil price benchmark by US dollars 11 per barrel from US dollars 62 per barrel to US dollars 73 per barrel. B, a reduction in the projected oil production volume by 283,000 barrels per day from 1.883 million barrels per day to 1.6 million barrels per day. C, an increase in the estimated provision for PMS subsidy for 2022 by 3.557 trillion naira from 442.72 billion naira to 4 trillion naira. D, a cut in the provision for federally funded upstream projects being implemented by 200 billion naira from 352.8 billion naira to 152.80 billion naira. E, an increase in the projection for federal government independent revenue by 400 billion naira. And F, an additional provision of 182.45 billion naira to cater for the needs of the Nigerian Police Force. Based on the above adjustments, the Federation account main pool revenue for the three tiers of government is projected to decline by 2.418 trillion naira, while federal government share from the account net of transfer to the Federal Capital Territory and other statutory deductions is projected to reduce by 1.173 trillion naira. However, the amount available to fund the federal government budget is projected to decline by 772.91 billion naira due to the increase in the projection for independent revenue operating surplus remittance by 400 billion naira.
President Buhari underscored the need to curtail the provision for federally funded upstream projects being implemented by 200 billion naira from 352.80 billion naira to 152.80 billion naira.